my cheap pole mod using some old recycled poles that I've got. And I've done another video on it kind of showing how I did it. And my first idea was just to use some bungee cord ends. That stake's not doing anything. Sometimes if the ground's soft I can stake one side in, but out here it wouldn't do any good. I have to hammer it, and I hammered that to keep this from blowing around. This one, I tried something new. I just used a carabiner, and this string's here because I had this end tied out before, but I don't need it tied out right now. But the little carabiner works. The only difference between the two sides, see how that's a very low angle? This one is nice and steep. I kind of like the steeper setup better. And putting this, it's about hand's width of paracord there, doubled over. It's easy to get on and off. I could take the stake off if I wanted, but I just leave it there for convenience purposes. Either way works, and depending on different tarps, they're always different. The trick is the ends have to be closed up. You can do that however you choose to do it. I had this piece of string left over, and I tied a rock on the end. At one point I had it tied to the tree, but that closes up the inside more than I wanted it closed up, so I just put that on there to keep it from blowing around. Uh-oh. That wasn't a very good tie job there, but that's okay. It still doesn't do that much. On this side I have it anchored. I've got a stake sitting right there with two lines on it, because if one side's not tied down, it will it'll blow over. So, and I do have, well, here, I'll go inside. I got a ridge line going through the inside. I got my tent poles sitting over the ridge line, and there's tons and tons of room in here. I'm standing up and my head is barely touching it, and if I stand on one side and put my arm over there, I'm pretty far from touching the other side. I like this setup. It's great for car camping. These tent poles would be a little heavy if I was backpacking. This tarp's a little heavy if I'm backpacking. The tarp alone is about 3 pounds, but it's a huge shelter. And in the winter I pitch it pretty low, so it goes almost all the way to the ground, and it works wonderfully. But I just wanted to show, and it's the middle of summer, and what is this, early September in Texas, and I hadn't been using my Wookiee underquilt. I've been just pulling it off to the side at night. The last time I camped I had to use it to keep mosquitoes off of me. I pull it off to the side like that, and there's no underquilt underneath me when I do that, but if it does get chilly in the morning, it's easy to just pull it right underneath me and keep me warm. So that's that. And then you can't, right here it's kind of in stowaway mode with my sleep socks, but I use one of these Night Eyes twist ties on my ridge line, and I've got 2 little loops on each end, and those are perfectly sized to go around my phone. And this is pretty difficult to slide up and down, so when I put it in place with my phone on there, I've got my TV sitting right about there at night, and my head's about right here, and I sleep there, or don't sleep there, I lay there while I'm going to sleep and watch YouTube videos. But this is my setup. Oh, let me show this real quick too. This is pretty awesome. This is about the 3rd time I've used this. This is a military sleep system stuff sack. I'll show it at some point. Kind of packed away, but it's pretty large. That's my arm next to it. I can fit my underquilt, which is a 0-degree Wookiee, my top quilt, which is a Hammock Gear 20-degree. I said 0-degree on the Wookiee, right? Yeah, 20-degree Hammock Gear Econ Burrow, and the mosquito with the bug net all inside this, and it packs away real easy. I learned the trick to it. Right now I've got my Snug Pack jungle blanket, because that's the only thing I use in the summertime. Keeps my down lasting a little longer. I do bring my down. I brought it. I'm car camping, so why not? But if you just stuff one in here and do it with one hand, enjoy the ride if you're watching this. Let's see. So the jungle blanket is basically up in there now. Well, 80% of it is. There's a little bit stuffed out. But once you get the quilt stuffed in there, which is real easy to do if you have two hands, then packing up the hammock is very easy. And I just leave the Wookiee attached when I do it. I leave the quilt inside, and everything just goes right in and it comes right out. And I did do one little modification on this bag. There's a grommet that normally has a screen right there. I popped the screen out, which is real easy to do with I used a nail or a screw and a hammer, and then I ran my hammock suspension through it. So that always stays there, and I've always got the foot end sticking out, and the other side I packed the whole thing in. I might show a takedown video, but I just wanted to show a update of my hammock inside my free tarp mods setup that I made a video on before. There's a couple ways to get it done. I might end up taking one of these pole sections out to see if it fits on there any better, because I don't like this angle. I definitely like this one more. And if I were to untie this off the tree, it would spread open a little bit wider, but it's been so windy, tying it off that way keeps it from flipping around and doing crazy stuff. There's a lot of ways you can play around with it and do what you want. It is just a tarp and some stakes, so simple enough. All right, a 7-minute and 30-second video. I really only thought it would be about 2 or 3 minutes. There you go. If you watched, thanks. Bye.